Welcome into my newest video. This is the Outer Worlds. It is the quests Stranger in a Strange Land and comes now the power. They were both so intertwined that I just figured I'd just put up both the quests instead of trying to cut and slice and dice. Just wasn't working.
Just between us, Wilson deserted. Lost his nerve. Ran off in the thick of night.
You're kidding me.
In these games, I like to listen to what just the random stuff, gossip, what they're talking about. Sometimes you hear something important. My mister is now playing this, and I got him the DLCs on the PS5. Since we played this before, but we never played the DLCs. So he's now playing it, and it's interesting seeing somebody else playing it. He has a different style than I do. He's more of the shoot 'em up,
Don't apologize.
He likes guns and armor and stuff, and I just don't know much about that kind of stuff. So
she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson, I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish
yeah,
you'd spoken up. I do apologize.
I didn't want to interrupt
them,
him,
arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
Yeah, see,
you were
so
saying,
I
Miss Holcomb.
was trying to be polite, and I'll wait until you're finished.
Refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just old. Sorry.
They're
I'm
eating
sorry.
rats, basically.
And I do wish you'd
Those
stop referring to our
creatures that we're
cannery
finding
as
here and
best.
there. That's what they're
Personification of company
eating.
property
They're not
is strictly
eating
contrary
any
to
kind
the
of
Spacer's
fish
Choice
or
Code of
anything.
Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you? I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform.
This town is going downhill, and the main company isn't helping.
Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
I think that the
Only
main
regulator guys
company kind
town
of
transformer.
wrote these guys off,
Mr. Thompson
is
ain't
what I
liable to be
think.
keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process.
Yeah, let's hear it.
There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
Yeah, this is one of those choices, you got to make.
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. But like a parent disciplining an unruly child, you will be doing them a kindness. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
And nothing is as it seems in this game. I do remember that much about the game.
Killing anyone, least of all them. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters
and see, now comes comes now the power starts up, and they're
Adelaide's older
both,
than the other deserters.
the quests are
She's
so
dignified,
intertwined.
kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
Well, there's a plague going on. We know that much. We've been to the sick
That
house.
is not a hypothetical
I
that is
think
going
I
to
had
change.
that in the other
We need
video.
Adelaide back.
But
Nonetheless, I will settle
they're
for the return
dying,
of her
and the
followers.
company won't
We
even
belong to one
give them
community,
medicine.
the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that. Of course, I understand completely. Here, let me give you the passcode to the geothermal plant. A sign of good faith for so politely listening to me as I ramble on.
Are you
And
setting
at
off
this
for the Vale?
geo place, there's
'Cause I know my way
several
around.
quests
I mean,
there.
in case you want a guide. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you.
Great.
And
I got
this
my
is
wrenches
pretty
and
much where we get her.
diagnosticators and hairpins and engine
And
tapes,
I
so
like the girl
I'm all set.
myself.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
I don't know if in other games, if there was a character just like her, I'd put up with her very long, but here we only have so many companions, you know. And I'd take everyone if I could, you know. Now, I did get the console working in this game. I haven't used it, but I do have it. It is running if I want it to run.
Hey, ma'am.
I just haven't
Can we talk?
used it.
Sorry. Can we talk? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me.
And I did put
It's just
on one mod.
Mr. Thompson has his own views
It's for
on
clean
matters,
windows
on account of
in
it's
our
his
ship
job
so we
and
can
what all, but
see out.
that's not the only side of the tale.
I tried another one to clean up the ship, but it didn't work. So, not with this version of the game anyway.
To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
It's not a very big town. I would think you'd know everyone, if not, you know, personally, just
I
in
don't know
passing.
anybody well. I mostly listen to them talk, kept my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I
She's
fixed.
got social
He was real
anxieties,
sweet to me.
and
Not
a
any
lot
sort
of
of
us
dissident.
know how she feels.
Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used to work up in the big office with Mr. Thompson. All I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. I could hear them both yelling clear from my own place. Can't
Yeah,
say as I
since
know.
she
I wasn't
since,
there. Sound
since
carried,
she
but not the
knows the
words.
gossip, it
Mr.
sounds
Thompson,
like.
have a mind to tell you his own self, you'd best ask Miss McDevitt, if he can get out to her. Life's hard here, especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about.
Yeah, and I feel the
Mr.
company has
Thompson's
totally
aiming to
written
take
them
away their
off.
power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
See, and then everything updated.
Thanks, ma'am. I just think when you gotta make a decision
And
that'll hurt
I
somebody,
did take out
it's best to
a
think who's
lot
right
of
and
the
wrong of it.
BS.
That's what my dad used to say anyways.
I loot, you know, and you can tell when I'm over encumbered, I walk real slow. I can't do anything. And hence the console, because I may give myself unlimited carry weight. I'm not sure yet. And I don't even really know how it's going the commands and such. So I'm a kind of person, I like to get things going. And once I get something going, I get bored, and so I just I just delete it, you know. So I don't know if that will happen with the console of this game. I do that with a lot of things. I've had gaming servers, and then I get bored and I just delete them, you know. I just want to do it. I just want to learn how to do it. And then once I learn how to do it, well, I've done it. So off I go on something else. I said I deleted some of the BS. I didn't say I deleted it all. I know you're supposed to walk the streets, but I find walking in these kind of games, you know, trying to walk on the sides and such, you find stuff. See, you find stuff. So I like finding things, and I hit the wrong button is why I'm jumping. And I can't open that because I only have one. My mister is playing a different way, and shoot, I've noticed he's he's he gets into things and stuff because he has different perks and all that.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't
I
here.
try to put away
Move
my
along.
gun.
Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those.
Yeah, we get a quest from her, but I'm not sure if I cut that. I know I cut the quest out, but I don't know if I cut the beginning of it
Yeah,
out.
that's us. And you can tell Thompson we're doing just fine by ourselves. If you're gonna start wandering around my camp, know that I got my sights on you.
Oh,
Over in the hot house. Tending crops.
it's only
Enough with the questions.
God, it's not even
No
3
offense,
p.m.
but I've got a lot on my mind.
here in the high desert, and there's noises coming from outside, and I can't. That's out of my control. I can't
You
control
don't
what the
know what
neighbors
enough with the
do,
questions means?
nor do I want to.
No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe
It
went
sounds like
missing
they're
some
working
nights
on
ago.
their
Just up
pickups.
and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around
So you might
wondering
hear
if
'em.
marauders got to her.
See, this is the quest, and I don't know, maybe I should have cut this part out, but I didn't.
It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a
And
wild
that's a
place.
few
She
kindred
could be
spirits, and
anywhere.
I'll put that as its own video. And this is just how I did my game.
Appreciate it. Honest.
There's different ways you can do it, you know.
I'll tell you what I can. Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already.
And this quest
Little
that
ways
we're
ago,
on, not necessarily what
she was always
she's
obsessing
talking
over
about,
serial dramas.
but
Wanted to
it's the
see what
main
fuss was
quest
about.
line. And I like to do all the quests I can. So I've talked to everyone
Well,
in
enough
this
to know we
game,
never got on.
you know, for quests.
Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does. She was lazy and thoughtless, but she's still one of our own.
I have the stealth, a dialogue,
Dangers aplenty out there.
no
No telling why marauders
the
would steal
leader-
somebody like Zoe. Got no useful skill as far as I
let's see,
can tell.
medicine or something where I can heal people, I think, is what I'm mostly going
Marauder
for.
gang
Then the
just
other
moved
ones,
into the districts
lock
a little ways
picking,
east. Their
I
numbers
have
are growing.
points in that.
Gotta come from somewhere.
I'm sure I probably have what my
What
build
is
is
it?
going to be in here somewhere. I don't know. And I'm thinking at this point that it should be, I save a lot, by the way. It should be a peaceful place, you know. They've got security at least.
Oh gosh.
And yeah, it's nighttime, but
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
I like this lady. I
have
just
been
like
called
her. I
that,
mean,
among other
she
things.
doesn't
Free
even
from
know us, and she's
grandmother,
offering us
the
food
strange
and
old lady
medicine,
who
and
keeps
you know.
flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
Well, that's good.
No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of the universe, and the universe yields its bounty equally, absent of prejudice.
There's a apple orchard outside, and you pick up those apples that fell, and then you can
The
sell
soil around the
'em
Vale
or
went
eat them or
sour years
whatnot.
ago, but I found a way to sweeten it.
And
back.
they
The
regenerate.
secret recipe is a little bit of elbow grease, a dash of love,
Or they
and a
used to,
heaping
you
pile
know,
of
when
special
I-
fertilizer.
When I played this before, because that's how I got some money, is by picking up the
A home
apples.
for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots.
Yeah, we have the giant puffball here that grows in
It
the
is an
Ochoco
unpleasant
Mountains,
story,
and they're
dear. But the
huge.
short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject. Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace?
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm on his side. I'm not saying I'm on anyone's side right now. And they need the workers. And, well, that was
I
pretty
can't say I
obvious.
blame you. Reed is positively soporific.
But
Like
I
everything else
totally
that
feel
comes out of
the
Edgewater, that
company
peace
has turned their
offering is
back on
king.
these guys, written them
I and
off.
my own are living just fine out here by ourselves.
And that's why they're not getting any help.
He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans?
Because I need that power
Cannery's got a
regulator.
regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip him out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
Yeah, so there's a big choice to be made here. And of course, we're not going to stick around to see
I trust
the
you will
outcome
listen
of
to
it.
your conscience.
See, I cut out a lot of just BS, you know. Oh, and also this place, this cannery we're going to go to,
I've always felt
we're going to go
weird
see this guy
here.
now, but
It's too clean.
I've been there several times now from other quests. This guy didn't impress me at
Yes, what is
first.
it?
He seemed kind of
You're an outsider.
stuck on himself.
Fantastic.
But after
Vicar
a while,
Maximilian de
you know,
Soto at your service. Or Vicar Max if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out. And with a complete stranger. Curious.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your
she
poison.
needs
Anything at all.
confidence.
Spiritual counseling? This season's tossball predictions? The quickest way out of town?
But what? I thought you would talk to me.
Yeah, see, she goes,
You wanted
oh,
to speak
wait
to
a
me,
minute.
Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do?
Just because she has social anxieties, don't judge her so fast, you know.
Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
Rumors.
They rejected the order of society and live beyond the walls so thoughtfully provided by our Spacer's Choice patrons. Does that strike you as a responsible life choice? Astute. But I am here, not in the deserter camp. So that's not a variable I can account for.
He's paid by the company, right? He's a company
Assuming
man.
your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. No doubt. But order is the nature of our universe. Some lead, others must follow. You might as well complain about the gravity being too high. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the
He must think
geothermal
he's a
plant.
leader, and
is not
he's
as
not.
safe
He's
as you might
paid by the
assume.
company. He's a company man. And there was more. He gives us quests, and so I just stopped it right there. Okay, and I've been here a couple times already. See, I can walk in and stuff. There's no danger here right now because I've been here. I've looted like crazy, and that'll be in other videos. This gun, that big gun, it has, it goes through ammo like crazy, but I got a mod on there that it shocks people. Or people, robots mostly, and it does good on people too, but a lot of ammo. And I already know where some of this stuff is because I've, looted the place like crazy. I'm a big looter. That's the only way you really make money in these games, it seems like. Okay, so now we got to run around and find these switches. And I played with one before because I didn't know what it was. Hey, it said push, so I did. Didn't do nothing. And the game will tell you, if... I wonder what that was. Anyway, the game will tell you if you need to go speak to this person or that person. I'm just playing on normal, so... I'm not up during the day too much. The light hurts my eyes, especially in summer, spring and summer. But winter, it's not so bright. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But no, really, I have migraines. The robot you're hearing, I believe, is, well, actually, that's those rats. But I do have a robot here somewhere that helped us. Somewhere. And those are the rat type things that they're eating. And it's like, ugh. And it says it's fish or tuna or whatever, but it's not. That's why the machines were breaking down, because they're not filling the cans with what the machine was made for. And yeah, I said I've been here for it. I have been, but I still lose my way. And I think I got all the bad machines killed for other quests.
Process that thought.
I think I didn't watch this frame by frame or nothing. I just skipped through it, And that gun is okay, but it's kind of worthless. Okay, so I didn't get all of them
Mind the
killed.
steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Oh, and I don't have my, at this point in the game, the health. You're supposed to take that health stuff, and I'm not very good at it. But getting my mister started in his game, because both of us, it's been years since we played. I kind of learned something by just watching him. Oh, there's the dog. We heard a big boom outside, so our dog isn't impressed, so he comes and lays in the middle of us. See that, since I have that mod on I got from a quest, I kind of like it. But it goes through ammo really quick. Ow. The steam will get you. In fact, my dad worked for the railroad, and they had a steam engine come through. Well, those aren't real common, and he came home all upset, and we out, my mom's like, what happened, He said a dude walked by the steam engine when it let out its steam, because it's not common, they get complacent and they just walk around. Well, he got blasted with steam, and I guess he didn't come out of it very well, so my dad was pretty upset about that. But anyway, that's what the steam reminds me of, is that when my dad came home, I mean, he was all red-eyed and everything. He was real upset. And why us kids, when we went with him, he would stop by because he needed something at work, and we weren't allowed out of the car. And then I do remember getting out of the car because it was like, oh, it's so hot. But I got in trouble. I was standing by the car, though, but and it's a dangerous place, those railroad yards, Oh, yeah, this is the part I learned, that if you put a mod on a gun, you can't put another mod, or at least at this stage of the game, I can't put 2 mods onto a gun. And I thought I could. So basically, I threw away one of my mods, and it was like, God dang it. But, yeah. Yeah, see, and so that mod was basically thrown away because I made a mistake. So don't make that mistake, is what I'm getting at, if you're going to play this game. Live and learn, right? And I can't get in there because I have 22 and I need 25. The lock picking. And there's no light in this game. I went to the open web and I'm like, how do you turn on your light? Because, dark. I'm kind of blind when it comes to being in the dark. And it said, no, there's no light. There's a mod, I noticed, but for that mod, you have to have another mod, and for that mod, you had to have another mod, and it's like, nah, I ain't going that route.
If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the veil?
Okay, so we got that done. Now we need to go back, I believe, to the main frame again. Or let's see, there's 3 of them. And I did decide to play this again because the second game of this is coming out. And we'll more than likely play it, He likes...
Not even a scratch.
My mister likes his console. I, on the other hand, I like to play on my computer, so... And his computer is a fine computer. I mean, it's a 40... Let's see, I have the 4090. Then one of my guys has a 4070. And then one of them has a 4060. So I get confused of who has who except for mine because, I'm on mine. And then all i9s, So my missus' computer is a fine computer. He just would rather play on the console. And he has all of the consoles. We made sure to set him up because he's retired, you know, and he doesn't have nothing better to do. And we had plans, but then he got hurt and sick, and yeah. So now we just play video games. And I do other things.
That's the last.
And then, and that's why the son's here. He does things that we just can't do. Yeah, I like opening all those barred doors, just for the heck of it, if nothing else. That way we can use the door just in case we need to come back for some reason. And then I always check these because some of them I wasn't able to get into before or whatnot. And so I just check them to make sure. I like these open world games.
Once we do this, there's no going back. Excuse
Yeah,
me, ma'am.
well,
Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do?
I do.
I don't think you should come.
Yeah,
for
I
Jack's
like
power.
getting
I think it would be
opinions,
cruel.
you know, but
I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate
they've
hardly
been
ever
cut
sends
off.
replacements. There's barely enough salt
I
tuna to fill our
firmly
bellies
believe that
anymore.
that town has been cut
The
off.
town's got some good people in it.
So it's like ripping
Decent,
off a
hardworking
Band-Aid,
folk
right? Just
living
do
their
it.
lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished.
And they're not being punished. The company, I believe it's all the company. And that's just my thought pattern on it. Yeah, I just think the company has written them off.
Miss McDevitt's built
So,
something beautiful. Somehow she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry,
And
tended the
if
sick.
everybody
Gave a home
goes
to those that had
there,
none.
then
But
it can grow.
Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town.
Yeah.
Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred?
I just don't. I don't agree with
Well,
her.
that sure sounds like
so.
Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way.
Yeah, as
Sorry,
soon as
I
I
didn't
found
mean
out
like
about
that. I just...
the plague
like I
and
had
how
to say
they
something.
weren't even able to get medicine for themselves because the company didn't think they were worth it. Come on, you know. And that lady didn't even know us, and she's ready to feed us. She was ready to give us medicine
Really?
if we needed it. And
I
she'll
mean,
be that way
wow.
with everybody.
Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
And at first I was wondering, well, how do we make the choice, you know? But I just kept playing, and then obviously this is how. And I mean, they're obviously dying. They're eating those rats, you know. They're not even eating the fish, you know. But anyway, that's the way I justified my actions. Is and of course, you know, it looks like I could have went the other direction, and who knows, the game would probably be totally different for me. Now I'm not sure how loved I am here in this town, so I got out my gun, you know. Now I'm
You want
seeing
to know what gets my bile
stutters.
churning?
That's
Edgewater has suffered a
my
cavalcade of
video
disasters, plague, marauders,
recording
desertion.
software, and
Many a wandered
hopefully
town.
when I render it, it
And I
won't
was so damn
show
sure our
that.
luck was starting to turn.
Because
I never
this
knew how
game's
right I
running
was.
really good for me.
Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it?
Yeah, it's nothing personal.
That power regulator is company property. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you.
And that's why I do the dialogue stuff, because I like to get my own way. And I don't really like to fight,
Easy
you know,
now.
if I
Let's
can
not
help it.
do anything we'll regret. I'll order my guards to stand down. Take what you came for and then leave us be.
I'm still not going to trust them, though. I'm still going to keep my gun out.
Stand down, all of you. We're done here.
Well, this will either make the company send them what they need, or the company will say, hey, yo, you know, let's transfer everybody to a new place to work. Because they obviously don't care about these people. Money is the bottom line, and they're just not making money, so.
Is this your
Yeah,
ship?
see, I'm almost dead.
Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh,
And instead of fighting, I'm running
me
to my
babbling.
ship, so I don't have
when
to
I was in Edgewater,
fight.
I dreamed
Because
of
I
flying on a real
obviously
ship,
was fighting.
working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back at my post. I have imagined it, but until you came along, I never thought I had the choice. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G valves for my
Please.
catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think?
Oh, and I also got that Vic guy.
Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, ma'am. Captain.
I like
I
having
can call you Captain
NPCs
now.
around me, you know.
I got a captain.
She's so happy.
Well,
See, I have him.
I certainly am looking forward
I
to
told
flying on
him,
a ship named
yeah,
the Unreliable.
you know.
I'll just head upstairs.
I
and
know,
play
the Unreliable. It's not a very good name for a ship, but. And all this stuff is ours, so why take it, you know,
Captain,
unless we need
I have
it.
detected that
Like,
the
okay.
town of Edgewater is now without power. I appreciate you doing your part to hasten their demise. What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator? Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event
And
of
then
another catastrophic
if I
engine
didn't,
failure.
that lady
Our
does.
engine room is located behind you, across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
And of course, I haven't spent much time here. Um, so yeah, I wanted to see what that was. Yeah. Yeah, see, and now this quest is over. So both quests, really did walk hand in hand, you know. Without getting one done, you wouldn't have got the other one done. I don't believe. And I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I am.
What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to
Yeah,
bring the
this is
unreliable into low
pretty
altitude
much
orbit. This should
the
prove an adequate
quests.
test of our flight
And then we
capabilities.
take off. And I think I got all the quests done. I think. So yeah, that's all. So I appreciate you coming by, and we'll see you next time.